It's Abby from Love on the Spectrum. Do you like being famous?
I do, because I want to make more money.
Get the bag, Abby.
I thought your song to David was amazing. So I wrote some lyrics about my friend Mike. I was kind of nervous to meet someone old, and I was really glad when you got off of parole. Do you have any other nicknames for her besides Sweet Cakes?
I guess that's the only nickname I have for her.
Do you mind if he starts calling me Sweet Cakes?
Very funny.
I've got to take one of each Lunchable inside the leash out.
It's Lunchly. I could see the confusion, but we're a much better product, in my opinion.
11 grams of protein.
You're gosh dang right. Speaking of getting engaged, is that on the agenda for you two eventually? Let's go. This is so exciting.
Do you like how that sounds?
Yes.
Oh, amazing.
Let's go.
Less distractions.
Yep.
Yeah.
I like the headphones. We can hear each other. If Mike takes a breath, or on the opposite end, doesn't stop talking, we all know to just let him go.
Does happen.
Ben, Christy, and Abby.
Christine, not Christine.
This guy over here, get him out of here.
I'm so sorry, Christine.
I know there's not a lot of women in here. Just you and me.
But we make up for a whole party of women, don't we?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you guys are a representation of the whole.
Yes, exactly.
I'm so sorry, Christine.
No, it's all right.
You can call me
Because
Jake.
this is an old memory because my preschool teacher, Miss Beverly, and she made me line up with the boys.
Okay.
Why? Why?
We weren't going to get into this, but
Well,
now
I'm just
that
letting
brought
you
it
know
up-
because that's what that brings, and that made me feel like a fish out of water.
Yeah, you've been misgendered.
Okay, do you want to tell them the whole story? 'Cause
Yes.
Now
There's
that you
some
brought it up,
context.
I
Let's
was
do it
like,
together. Let's tell the whole story.
Do you want me to help you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll make a long story. I made a long story short.
That's an idiom.
That's good.
When you were,
4.
I went to.
A preschool. One of my friends who went there is now in medical school and got engaged.
Well, congrats to that person.
Yes,
Portland got engaged.
Portland got engaged. She's in med school. That's amazing.
Crazy that she's gonna be getting married soon.
She is. But what happened there that sticks in your mind because of your memory?
My preschool teacher, Miss Beverly, this is what she made me do. She had all the girls line up, then all the boys, and then she made me line up at the end of the line with the boys.
Yeah. I say we cancel her.
Yeah.
Oh, she
And
got
one day-
canceled, all right.
One day she was out sick, and I told the assistant teacher, Ms. Zoya, I belong with the girls. So I walked out of line with my aide and walked to the end of the girl line with my aide.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
She did.
As
Okay.
you took it into your own hands.
She did. I was shocked because she didn't have a lot of language then for me to understand what was going on. And I found out this was happening. And this teacher was, it was hard for us. She didn't understand autism. And neither did I really because she was really young at the time.
I was gonna say, has she been officially diagnosed at
Yes.
that point?
Yep. And
interesting.
She had an aide and helpers and stuff like that. But it was really hard because Abby thinks in memories. This is
I'm
part
a Gestalt learner, and I'm even in a therapy right now.
And part of that is this memory thing. So the memory of that isolation has stuck with her as a way to access her whole life.
Interesting.
Being separated, being at the end of the line, feeling like you didn't fit in was maximized by that physical action.
That's why I associated girls as good and boys as bad.
Yeah.
I think that's generally correct.
Well, not all guys are bad. It depends.
Not David.
Yeah.
It depends.
We
Not all
love
girls are
David.
good. It depends on the person.
It's
Yes.
all
Because it would be
circumstantial.
boring if we were all the same. It
would-
would be boring.
Exactly. That's like people in Sacramento, for example. Anyways, can I maybe make a suggestion? Something I kind of heard from that story, and what was kind of became maybe a traumatic experience or memory for Abby, and how she like processes and thinks about things. The best part of that story was at the end of the day, you took life into your own hands and you went into the line and became who you were supposed to be.
Yeah.
So while it
Yeah.
started off with isolation, it was you even at a young age doing what you wanted to do
Yeah.
in life, which I think is really cool. And maybe that's a different way to think about
When
it.
I heard the story, I was like bawling because I couldn't believe that she was able to advocate even then, even though the language wasn't expressed to me or the outside world. She had enough sort of self-awareness to take charge.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And that's what she's done. Now I'm her +1 for everything.
Oh,
like,
you guys are the +2 today.
Yeah.
I normally do an intro for our guests. I think we should do it because I'm really excited to have you here, Abby. Man, We got the star from the greatest show on television to my right. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Abby from Love on the Spectrum. Is David coming at
Yes.
Okay. Okay, very cool. So this is Mike. He's my best friend, co-host, big
How's everybody
brother.
doing?
Nice to meet you, Mike.
I was going to ask you about that experience a little bit. I guess both of you guys, because really for anybody to experience something like that could be considered like a trauma at early age. It sticks with anybody, that feeling of exclusion or, not being worthy. Christina, have you noticed that for someone that is on the spectrum, that experience is even more traumatic?
I think some people on the spectrum have this incredible memory that a neurotypical person doesn't have. Their memories are so intense and they pop in their heads randomly sometimes. It's a trigger. Abby, remember the show This Is Us?
Yes.
What can you tell us?
Speaking of, there was a show called This Is Us. And when you watch the show, you're going to see flashbacks from when they were babies to toddlers to children to teenagers.
Is that kind of how?
That's how my mind works. Like, I think about myself in flashbacks from when I was in preschool, elementary school, middle school, and even high school.
How much of your day is spent thinking about stuff from the past versus now?
It's like a flashback, like what happens in This Is Us. Like if I talk about second grade or third grade or even
You see it
grade.
vividly in your mind.
Yeah.
Like a movie playing. I always give this example. So you go see Mission Impossible and you're in it for 2 hours, right? You come out of the theater jacked up. Like you come in kind of like, you know what I mean? You're still in the movie head of just having seen that. There's like an energy. Takes you a couple minutes to adjust. I think it happens to her all the time throughout the day based on whatever memory comes in. It's so vivid. It's like a movie playing. So it takes her out of what's happening right here.
So do you have a neurological rationale for that? Is there what from a scientific standpoint is underdeveloped and what is overactive in the autistic mind that causes something like that to happen?
I think some people, what I've learned on TikTok, I know, but
You like TikTok?
listen, I thought they were selling me a bill of goods. I hear about this Gestalt language processor, and I was like, here we go, another therapy. I mean, I was really like on the fence, but I really put my ego away and said, let's hear what this is. And I started thinking, I was like, yeah, this is what it is. So it's a aspect of language development in autism, I think. And I think Abby really falls into that. Abby, why don't you tell us about what you've learned about your Gestalt language stuff?
My Gestalt language, I'm learning something like a visual dictionary. Like my Gestalt teacher, Ryan, I mean, she's like my new speech therapist. She does AI, which stands for artificial intelligence.
Yep.
And what she puts the categories of bad and the feeling words next to it, or even the good categories together and the feeling words next to it. And even she puts the inside out characters of each emotion of how I feel.
It's amazing. I love
Right,
that
because
movie.
Abby, remember what's the Gestalt thing? You think
In memories.
and you speak in
categories.
and memories. And
Well, you know what I should do? I have to think it, don't say it. Just like one time my mom showed me this homeless man talking to himself and she was trying to show me how it looked. People were staring at him.
so Abby sometimes will speak those memories out loud, which is okay. But if you're in a public place, I wanted her to just see what it would look like. I didn't know if that was the right thing or do or not, because as a parent, you don't know what to do. You're just trying to help your kid. And I knew that particular, like, he couldn't help it. So we were very clear that we had to have compassion for him. And we weren't looking at him. We were looking at the other people. So we could see their reactions because they were either scared or they were confused or they didn't know. So I just wanted her, because I think people with autism sometimes don't understand what it looks like from someone else's perspective.
I think, first off, you're an amazing mom as well. Even on the show, you come across so great. I'm sure you can attest. Yeah, you are also
Amazing brother
equally
right
the
here.
star. I can imagine, and the way you just like talk about this and the show in general. Part of the reason I love it is because it helps the viewers understand the complexities of autism, and it's just really fascinating to learn about. I think it, don't say it. I'm rambling.
Sorry.
I was rambling. Abby. I think it, don't say it is maybe some good advice that I could have used, in my life along the way.
Same.
And maybe Mike as
Yeah,
well.
for sure.
I want to ask you about something so great, Abby. You sang a love song to David,
I did.
and it went crazy viral,
Yes.
and it was so good.
Thank you.
People are praising how good of a songwriter you are. Where does this ability come from?
Who helps you, Abs?
My cousin Mary, her college roommate Casey, helped me.
Really?
Casey Kelly is
She's
her,
like my
co-writer.
composer.
Well, she's your co-writer. You guys do
Co-writer.
it together.
Mm-hmm.
You do it together.
Do you like write songs?
Yeah, she's written her own songs. I've written mine.
Let me tell you my favorite lyric. I know sometimes I'm in my head, but when I'm with you, I'm in the world instead.
Wow.
Dude,
That's incredible.
everyone watching that was like, what the? I got goosebumps watching. I'm like, oh my God, that's amazing.
We all get goosebumps.
Yeah. What in special moments that make you feel. And you made me feel with that song. I felt the love between you and David.
Yeah, it was really amazing because he does have different aspects to his autism. Even though they have a ton of special interests, there are certain things that Abbey has that he tries to be patient with. He's still learning about. You know, he's doesn't have some of those same struggles. Abbey, what does David have that you don't have?
Synesthesia. He associates numbers as colors.
It's
That
fascinating.
is very fascinating.
Does anyone say David play the Simon game with the colors that light up?
He
Does
got
anyone
a really
see?
high score.
Really?
It's bonkers.
Whoa.
Because
It's
he
because of a synesthesia.
right. So what does he do? Tell us about
He
his.
counts in colors. He goes, whenever the color lights up, he says the number of it. Like when the blue lights up, he'll say 4. And when the green lights up, he'll say 5. And when the red lights up, he'll say 2. And when the yellow lights up, he'll say 3.
So that's easier than if you think about it, like memorizing a long
That's
string
just
of
how his
numbers
mind works.
is maybe easier than memorizing a long string of colors. Does that make sense? So for Simon,
Yeah.
if it's 453 4567 a phone number,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
example, you might do a better job than all the colors.
Yeah.
He'd
Interesting.
say colors.
So when he's playing it, he's going 5 5 6 6 3 2 1 4 8 7 9. It's like the string of numbers. I got 4. That's where I'm at. I got
that's about
4
where I
colors.
net
I'm
out,
out.
too.
But you like know them at this point, right? He's taught you? Because I saw you like reciting it on the show. You guys have learned a lot about each other, I'm sure.
What else did you memorize of David's, Abbey?
I memorized all his stuffed animals named after his favorite foods. African stuffed animals like s'mores the lion, spaghetti the giraffe, cheese pizza the crocodile, and cotton candy the flamingo, french fry the fennec fox, Cheetos the cheetah, cake batter donut the spotted hyena.
This is
and
impressive.
all those animals, and even hamburger the hippopotamus, popcorn the rhinoceros, lollipop the zebra, Oreo the elephant,
This is amazing. I have a
and
question.
chicken nugget the ostrich.
I love chicken nuggets and ostriches. And the size of their eggs. So big. They're huge, really. I have a question. Maybe it's good to ask before David gets here. What happens to the stuffed animals when you guys get married?
No, he even makes my stuffed animals talk like this. I love you, I love you, I love you. And he even makes them laugh when I, like this. Oh, stop it, Abby, that tickles. Stop, 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 stop.
Man, you guys have so much fun together.
They
It's
do,
amazing.
they
Mike used to
do.
be in a relationship.
Yeah, it was at one point. Christine, can I ask you a question? I think a lot of people look at being on the spectrum kind of as a disability, and I can understand that obviously and see that. But with these special talents, are there certain roles in the world that you see people on the spectrum being better at than the average person? Like, for example, if I wanted to hire Abby to come, I don't know, count cards with me at the casino, for example. What are some things like that maybe
Okay,
they would
so-
be better at than the non-afflicted or I don't know. Sorry,
That's fine.
sorry
I
for-
don't have any offense to how
Yeah,
people.
sorry, I don't know.
No, it's totally cool because
Got
it's great you're asking. I mean, that's the main thing. When she was younger, I used to say, these kids with autism, the kind of autism she has, let's clarify that because autism is so different person to person and there's no other way to describe it. I'd say, gosh, she shouldn't work for the FBI. They should put her like in a tower
That's what I'm kind of getting
looking
at.
for the enemy when you can't use radar when the grid goes down because the attention to detail is insane. The visual is insane. We were at a kid's party once and Abby's looking up in the sky. She was about, how old are you, 6?
7.
7.
And I saw a bald eagle.
She just in the valley. There's a bald eagle up there, and everyone was like, "Oh, come on!" It was like no one saw anything and just poo-pooed it. And one parent kept looking to see, and about About 45 seconds later, that's a long time.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, this bald eagle appeared. And sure enough, no one could see it except her. And no one believed her until that one dad kept looking. You see that splinter skill there? It's like, how do you even do that?
Is there an organization that helps place people on the spectrum into environments like that? I'm sorry, I'm super fascinated and interested in this. As this continues to build out, obviously society has gotten so obsessed with the show and with Abbey, and there's been such a movement to support the community that is on the spectrum over the past like 20, I would say, years. But is there an organization that helps place people with these special skills into jobs?
It really depends on the skills. The issue I personally have is that the diagnostic language we used changed in 2013. We used to have something called Asperger's. Asperger's identified a population of people that usually didn't have a speech delay. Like they didn't necessarily need 20 years of speech therapy to really converse and learn pragmatic language. Those Asperger people, many of them are scientists, engineers, right on smart, amazing people that don't really like social skills. It's just not their bag.
Hey, and speaking of Asperger's, I used to say I don't have autism. I have Asperger's because I wish I didn't have a speech delay, and I wished I was also Jewish.
Dylan's Jewish.
If I had no speech delay, I would probably be celebrating Hanukkah, lighting 8 candles a night.
Yeah. I'm 7% Jewish.
I'm only 1% Jewish.
That counts.
Christine and
My
Ben,
boyfriend's Jewish.
Oh, amazing.
David's Jewish.
Yeah, Ben, you got to answer this too, both you guys.
Yeah.
How hard is it to? How funny has it been? I can't even imagine. I cannot even imagine how amazing the stuff that comes out of her mouth is.
There's some pretty blunt observations that are made. It's like everything you think is just said. That's kind of how it is. So there's some things not offensive, but like observant. I don't know if I should even. There's that. Remember the
Which one?
The one with her TA. You got a call from her school. I'm gonna say it. It's funny. It's
Which
funny.
TA?
Can you move the mic a little closer?
Yeah.
Who are you talking about, Mom?
You had this one assistant in school. I think you were in maybe high school or like late middle school or something. And we got a call home saying something about like, Abbey, there was like a thing that happened at school. And I just remember the incident was that Abbey was getting really frustrated because she was fidgeting. You were fidgeting with something, I think, at school. And your TA came over, your aide came over and said, "Hey, can you stop fidgeting?"
I don't even remember this.
You'll remember it when I say it. You got annoyed and you said, "Okay, African-American woman."
Oh.
That's what you said. Not offensive. That's not
Speaking of
it's
insults,
just an observation. But
speaking of insults, one time I was in New York City and going into Times Square almost 2 years ago, and there was this guy on a bike who almost got run over, and he goes, "Fuck you, asshole." That guy on the bike.
that one stuck.
Yeah.
You'll hear a lot of things like that in New York.
Yeah, because he almost got run over. And guess what took place in New York? Sesame Street.
I love
Yes.
Sesame Street and the Cookie Monster as
Yeah.
well.
Oh, cookies.
Yeah, I
Nom,
know.
nom, nom.
Yep.
I love Cookie Monster.
He's great.
Comedy's another interesting angle and aspect. Have there been any comedians that have been on the spectrum? I mean, it's like
There's
think so.
but the population now, because there's a couple of things. There's autism awareness, social media, TikTok, the show. There's a lot of expansion of understanding, hey, what's going on with these people? Not everyone's a sit down, be quiet, learner from the blackboard. There's all these variations of our neurology that are being identified, which is a great, great thing. But for us, having differences that impact your daily life, we needed interventions and services. Do you know what I mean? So those Asperger people I was mentioning before, which you can't say anymore, which are now part of the same population as her, they have these like level 1, 2, and 3. It's kind of like if you're non-speaking or nonverbal, you're profoundly autistic or level 3. But if you're an engineer and you have internal struggles, you kind of have the same diagnosis, and that's really hard to figure out. So then you say, yeah, I see comedians all the time going, I just found out I was on the spectrum. And yeah, I mean, I knew I was weird as a kid. And there really was something going on for that person. I truly believe that. And I'm so grateful that they have a chance to identify, but it's zero crossover to what she has and what we've done. And that's why I think some of us feel like we're being silenced or erased or like our stories are invalid, because we need to advocate. Abbey needs a little guidance, a little prompting here and there. She's a rock star. If you guys... 22 years of speech therapy. I mean, this was a lifelong thing when you were little. Like, what was it like when you were little? You had...
Well, it was, therapists in and out of the house and, things going on at school too. So it was like, it was more of a, it was more of a not just like Abby might have trouble focusing on certain things here and there. It was more like there's like legitimate professionals coming in to like help out, so it was like
Nonstop.
it was a little different, you know what I mean? So there was definitely, it was like something was definitely there, I mean, it was hard for me to understand when I was
he was a little kid,
4,
but therapy rooms and
yeah.
like clipboards and
Yeah.
tantrums and meltdowns. He kind
Did
of.
I ever have a tantrum?
I mean, all kids have tantrums.
I had tantrums.
Abby, but
Yeah, I remember one time you said, "I don't want to go to Disneyland. Disneyland's for babies." You said that once.
Yeah, I did. I was like 9 years old, I think.
so
Why did you
Totally
say
regret
Disneyland?
that, by the way.
Why'd you say Disneyland's for babies?
I don't know. I was going through it.
Who's crashing out?
I don't know. Yeah.
What was that like for you guys, mom, brother? Being around it in school. Did you deal with bullying at all? Did you have to protect her at times? And what was
There
that,
was
Christine? What was the adjustment process like for you as well? When
Yeah.
I mean, I'll start with me, and then
Yeah,
you
yeah.
have to tell something
Yeah.
more because his perspective is so different than mine. But I remember in first grade, Abby was mainstreamed into a regular school. This is the thing in autism: do you send them to a special school, they're in special ed, or they mainstreamed? If they have great language and they're interacting enough and they're really able to comprehend, sure, try mainstreaming. It didn't work for us. Abby was just not able to like grasp it. So in that in between, I was trying to like schmooze. So I was in the playground yard with the other kids, her age, 6-year-olds, and I'm all like, "Hey, yeah, I get candy," and I'm like trying to like schmooze the other kids so that they would like her. Like I'm the cool mom. And one day I'm like schmoozing the 6-year-olds. And I realized, what am I doing here? Like
bribing these
yeah.
children.
So like I'm cool,
know
like
that.
we're the cool team and stuff. And I was like, that's crazy. And then she went on into autism education. So the rest was
And then
at
I
autism
was
school.
it was the same curriculum, but they taught it slower. But I realized that the curriculum was no longer applied to me. So in high school, I got switched to job training.
Interesting.
That's true.
They,
And then
they
his-
prep you for a real
More,
life.
less academics because it wasn't making sense with the kind of brains they have. But his perspective on the bullying thing is different because he was there at school
Yeah.
and people knew who Abby was.
Older brother, younger brother?
Younger
brother
by a year and a half.
Okay, so you guys were
Pretty
crossing
close.
paths.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Yeah, what was it like?
It
from your
was
perspective?
so we were at the same school until I was in maybe 3rd grade. So like not super late, but there
We
was
both left Dixie Canyon.
yeah, that's
We both
exactly
left.
right.
Neither one of us stayed till 5th grade. Neither one of us.
We left a little early. But it was definitely, I would say there was less direct, it wasn't like direct bullying towards her, but there was definitely like people would make comments within my friend groups that I would feel the need to step up a little bit, and then I would see maybe people, there, the special ed class, people would be like pointing fingers and stuff. There's a kids, right? But like we're all kids and they're pointing fingers and doing that thing. And I was usually the one that was, hey, let's not do that. We don't really know what's going on. Like, that's not cool, right?
Yeah.
And then kind of later on, it was definitely the biggest thing for me was just like in public, there was a lot of staring and a lot of stuff. Cause like Abby, like a lot of people has physical stims, you stretch your hands out to feel more centered, Abs when you get excited and you do
Yes,
your,
and then after my Bridgeport high school years, I got switched to a training school, Miller, and learned how to make hats there.
I wanted to ask about your hats.
That's true.
Did you have? Do you have any hats?
Yes.
Maybe.
I was hoping I could get one of these hats. And I'll pay for it. By the way, I want to support the business.
Abby?
Support local business.
Who's that for?
No way.
This is for you.
No way.
And who's this for?
No
for Mike.
And this is
Mike.
Yes.
hold on.
That's for Mike.
Oh my
Mike,
gosh.
And then who's this for?
Oh, I'm so happy.
Who's this
This
for?
is for your daughter
that's right.
And your wife.
and your
Oh,
wife.
that's so
Your wife and
sweet,
your
Abby.
daughter.
Abby, that's so sweet.
These gray ones I made.
Oh my gosh,
selling
my
them.
fiance loves you as well, so she's gonna go. She's gonna just be so happy. Oh my gosh, this is so cool. Let's go,
Love it.
There you go.
dear Logan.
does that
thank
fit
you for
okay?
having me on your
Yes,
podcast.
it does.
Looks great.
Thank you so much for this.
You can bring the tag is up. It's bring it down a little bit.
This one?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh.
Let's go.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that.
Picture of that.
That was so
yeah.
nice of you.
How are you?
that.
How are you producing enough hats? I'm sure the business is booming. It's a lot of weaving.
Yeah.
It's good though. It's good. It keeps you busy, I'm sure. I do like working with your hands like that.
Yes.
Tell them about how many hours you do. About the hat stuff.
I knit hats for like hours. Like I even forgot my knitting bag this morning, so my brother brought it. And also, one time Ben's puppy, Navi, who's a mini Australian Shepherd, the other night she tried to run away with my yarn.
It doesn't surprise me.
Yes,
Don't
and
get a
my mom
cat.
was like, "Ah!"
Yeah,
She
yeah,
started running around.
yeah. If you get a cat, that yarn's gone. Yeah.
And
don't
one
do it.
time, Navi last time took my yarn. I saw she was carrying it in her mouth, walking with it.
This is amazing.
Yes, it's great.
Why did she take my yarn?
She's a puppy.
So, you
And
know,
it was out.
when she was telling you guys about getting out of the academics, here's the thing about autism. So when you have the kind of autism Abby has, you're diagnosed at 2, you get kicked out of preschool. It was a really difficult time. That first 0 to 10 was really, really hard. So my whole life changed. Got on the bandwagon of trying to figure out what this stuff is. Figuring out what your kid needs the hardest part. It's almost worse than the condition itself is figuring out what am I supposed to do because you feel so helpless.
Also, I used to get very jealous of neurotypical girls, especially.
Really? Can you talk to me about
It's
that?
because they could do things that I couldn't. Like when a neurotypical girl would fall asleep, I would fall asleep. When a neurotypical girl would sneeze, I would sneeze because I was trying to be like them, even though, unfortunately, it made them uncomfortable.
That's really
But I
interesting.
didn't do it to be mean. I didn't do it to mock them or make fun of them. I was just trying to express my feelings.
I appreciate your honesty and you say and you
Like, you
saying
remember that movie Inside Out?
Of course. Inside Out. I saw the second one.
Riley says she's a good person, then she says she's not good enough.
I imagine sometimes you watch things like that show you were describing, This Is Us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you watch it and you see like, oh my gosh, I feel like that. Or that's how I think. And you make that connection. Did it happen with Inside Out?
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah.
Always talks about that.
And speaking of
It's like a
Inside Out,
visual.
me and my cousin Mary went to the Inside Out house in Vegas last year.
That's awesome.
Oh, wow.
Do you like animated films?
Yeah.
Can you give me a list of some of your favorite animated films?
Little Mermaid, Lion King, Frozen,
Frozen. I mean, yeah.
Finding Nemo. There's
Yep.
a Finding Nemo ride at Disneyland, Finding Nemo Submarine Voyage. It's been out for 18 years.
How to Train Your Dragon?
Well, that's DreamWorks.
You don't like
But you know what? I don't like gory movies.
Okay, that's fair.
Horror movies. Have you seen Enchanted? That's animated and live action. It's both.
I don't think I have.
Are you a huge fan of Amy Adams?
I wouldn't say a huge fan, but I really like her, the redhead.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
I really like her. Yeah,
And
she's
she was
great.
also in the movie, a sci-fi movie called The Arrival.
I love The
Oh,
Arrival.
great
She's
movie.
very good in that movie.
Yeah.
Do you like alien stuff? UFO stuff?
It's okay, but I like Star Wars because Star Wars Day is coming up.
Star Wars Day?
May 5th.
May the 4th be
May the
with you.
4th.
I love saying that. Do you have a lightsaber?
See,
I want to get
yeah.
a pink lightsaber.
Okay.
If I had one, I'd choose the pink lightsaber.
Okay, cool. What about David? Does he like it as well?
A red lightsaber.
You guys could battle.
Well, I'll do it with his sister Aubrey because Aubrey's into video games. It's one of David's triplet sisters, and his other sister Allison goes to school for ABA, Applied Behavior Analysis.
Oh, wow.
Cool. Very
That's
cool.
a whole controversy now because that's a therapy that's used for, I say, certain types of autism, but because we have one word, part of the population thinks it's bad and torturous and not cool. And then the other part's like, we're dying over here. We need help for our kids. For us, it worked.
Yeah.
I don't bash any therapy because everyone's different. Like, try whatever works for you. But on my social media, people have come after me because we did do it. It was amazing. It helped her a ton. I was there. I watched it. She learned how to sit in a chair and use a pencil when she was 4, and she couldn't do that before that. So it was like a kind of a miracle almost. And other people that we know, David included, Sabode from season 1, he also had that therapy, and it was really, really great.
Do you?
But it's controversial for others.
It's a shame when there's rifts internally within a group that should be together. I feel like I've seen this happen a couple times.
It always
just
happens.
It is,
just doesn't
it
make
is
sense
my
to me.
it is my mission to try to get everyone to work together because think about people in your school setting that were either misunderstood, mocked, sat alone. They had neurological differences.
Yeah.
Nobody's weird. Situations are weird, not people. People have neurological differences.
Yeah.
And then others have neurological deficits. If you can't talk and participate in the world, that's kind of a short stick.
But strangely, those disagreements happen even in communities that don't have such vast differences or spectrums. You've got something like alcoholism. and the approach to getting people off of drugs or alcohol.
Yeah.
You've got something like the approach to curing brain cancer. These are more one-size-fits-all problems, but still have the same level of disagreement as a community as complex as the spectrum community. So it's like you can't even get people to agree on chemotherapy, not chemotherapy, this or that.
What is
like,
chemotherapy?
well, it's a good question, Abby. It's a approach to ridding the body of cancer when someone has cancer. So it's a radiation therapy that has a lot of side effects that some people think are actually potentially worse than the cancer itself. And so there's a lot of disagreement there. It's been a kind of a gold standard treatment for a long time now for cancer, but there's, especially in the world we live in now with social media and everybody saying this is wrong and this is woke and this is right and this is left. It's just such a wild time to agree on anything. That I can totally see how it could get so complex in this community. And I wanted to ask you this too. Where does Abby fit on the spectrum?
Well, when she was diagnosed, Abby, how old were you?
2.5.
So it was like right out of the gate, from day one. Abby, how much did you weigh at birth?
11, 14 inches.
Oh, big baby.
No, 11 pounds.
11 pounds.
big baby,
13
big baby.
ounces.
Big baby, like from the minute she was born, it was
Was
like
I this big?
Big baby.
You're that big.
I was a gigantic baby.
That's a big
Why
baby.
was I such a big baby?
I don't know. From the minute she was born, it's been an alternative ride.
All the other babies were smaller than me.
Yeah.
Yes. And so
One time there was a tiny baby on a plane and it was a tiny little infant. I was much bigger than that, right?
yes.
I was a lot bigger.
But what
Yeah.
about the baby on the plane?
I knew it was going to make a noise, but it didn't make one.
Oh, right.
It didn't cry the whole time?
No. Well,
Lucky.
but you know what? I was a lot bigger than that baby.
Yeah.
Way bigger.
Yeah. Babies not crying on planes is
Well,
rare.
one time I was in Indianapolis. There were 2 screaming babies in front of me. We were leaving Indianapolis, and the baby's like this: "Water, water! I need water!"
Yeah.
Something like that.
Baby was thirsty. Should have gave him Prime.
And they wouldn't give it to her.
Should have had Prime. I had a question.
It's an auditory sound.
Do you like watching yourself on TV?
I didn't really care about watching myself on TV, but I did get really excited and eager.
Well, it's really cool, Abby. Like you're now famous. Is that a weird feeling for you?
No, I used to feel isolated and alone as a kid, and that's why I said I want to be an adult right now.
I can relate to that.
That's why I associate adults as good and kids as bad, but it's just life was more complicated growing up. But at least I still had a good time. I just take fun family trips to Boston.
Well, kids can be pretty ruthless because they don't have like that much empathy. They're just it's a lot of like instinctual, and they'll just say what they're thinking, and they might not going to consider someone's feelings. So some kids are good. Like I have a daughter. She's very nice. She's very nice.
How old is she?
She's 7 months old, so she still is not really fully. She's the baby.
Yeah.
Big baby, by the way. She's tall.
Oh, is she?
Yeah, she's pretty tall.
Your fiance is tall?
Yeah, she is.
She's tall, yeah.
She's like
And
5'10".
You're like
6'2".
Yeah.
Yeah. I think she'll probably be tall.
Yeah.
But this fame is a really interesting. David.
Everyone's very excited.
David.
David's just gonna hang out. And then
Okay.
15 minutes
Okay.
left, I'll come
Okay.
Okay. Hey,
Hi,
David.
Petra.
Hey,
Mary.
Petra.
Hey, Mary.
Hey, Mary.
Hi.
Hey guys, how are you?
Hey.
Hey. So it sounds like you like being famous because you don't feel as isolated, or am I just saying that? Sorry, I'll just
You want him to rephrase the question?
I'll
rephrase it.
rephrase it. Do you like being famous?
I do, because I want to make more money. That's why Mary's good for my social media.
Yeah. Get the bag, Abby.
Her cousin Brendan doesn't like being an adult. He loved being a kid. Mary's cousin Brendan.
Well, probably because Brendan
That's
has
her
a job
cousin.
now. Brendan has
it's hard.
Brendan has
It's
a job.
hard for him as an adult, but not for me, because everyone is different.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, and you're famous now, and so you can get the bag
Abby,
by
what do you
selling
wanna-
your hats.
What do you want to buy with all this newfound money?
Probably I want to build my own water park in my pool. I was thinking if I win the lottery, I was thinking about getting rid of my diving board and changing it into a water slide.
Amazing.
Could you build? This is very important, Abby. I need you to
I'll change it to a water slide.
Okay, amazing. I'm obsessed with water parks.
Me
They're my
too!
favorite thing. And
So am Why?
Do you know what my favorite thing out of the water park is?
What?
The lazy river.
You know what mine is? Mine is the dropout slide where you stand on the store, you stand in it, and then it opens up, and then it goes. When Ben did it, how did you feel?
I was terrified.
It's horrifying.
It's way scarier than I ever thought it was.
Did you scream?
Yes.
Where did you do it?
We were in Atlantis, right? Was that the first one?
Coco K.
Or Coco K, yeah.
They have one in New York at the American Dream Mall that's very high that you would love.
Thrill the Gas Guard and Jungle Jammer.
Wow.
At DreamWorks Water Park.
Wow. How do you, okay. That's amazing that you knew both of
I would scream on it.
You're pretty brave.
Everyone. Mary did it with me.
Yeah.
I think she did it once.
That's pretty brave of you, Abby.
Yeah.
Because he's
If you haven't seen what you're talking about the DreamWorks Water Park,
Of
right?
course.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you go in and actually look at it, I mean, it looks like you're jumping off.
pretty
It's the
vertical.
scariest
20th
thing.
floor.
And you know who I
ever.
pretend to be
It's
up there
insane.
on the top of that? Rapunzel.
yes.
And do you feel any fear?
No, not really.
Would
Well,
you?
my brother would.
I mean, so would
It
so
was
would
a
I.
little scary at first, but I wasn't as scared as Ben.
Yeah, okay.
Just roasting you,
I
man.
know, every day.
Catching
Do you think you'd be
strays.
Every
scared
day.
on the Thrill of Gascar at DreamWorks if it's 14
Probably.
stories? My
If
brother
that's
would.
bigger, yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Abby, you clearly
You'd be like Fear from Inside Out. Oh.
you're very brave.
Taking shots.
Would you?
Do you like Fear? Do you like him?
Oh yeah. I try to turn fear off a lot of the times.
Don't even think about him.
Yeah. Just literally just turn it off like a light switch almost.
What about the big red guy? Anger.
anger? Yeah, have a little bit of that in me.
Yeah, I'd feel a little bit of him when I get hurt. I'd feel a little bit like Anger from Inside Out.
When was the last time you felt angry?
I'm not sure if I don't win a game and Candy Crush. Like, I can get all my emotions in Inside Out, like sadness, anger. Think about the Inside Out emotions.
Yep.
Or if I'm seeing a horror movie or if I feel nauseous, I'm like, disgust. She's green.
What about the second one? Anxiety showed up.
Like when the bus would run late, I'd feel like anxiety.
Yeah.
Christine, do you notice that she has a good firm grasp on emotionality?
Now she does.
Yeah.
But in the earlier years, it would overtake you, so you couldn't participate in the world because I think emotional regulation is part of autism for some people, and that can stop you from your day. Like Abby had a thing about time, for example, when she was a kid, that if it wasn't that exact moment, if things weren't like the bell rang at 3, and if I wasn't there, she would fall to pieces. It just was some kind of a hook and structure. So
And I'd also do something called the Dolly dance.
Tell me
which
about
no one
it.
understood.
and I still don't.
It's a weird gesture, and it's where I would clap my hands and stick out my tongue, but I shouldn't do it.
Well, now you set it up so everybody.
Yeah,
I'm
you
just
have to do it now.
explaining.
Okay.
Do you want?
Is it like this?
It's like this.
Oh,
is
classic.
Come on, Logan.
Tell me how
You
good
go
I.
like this, and then
Like this.
Ready?
Yeah, you did it. Nice.
you do it, Mary.
Nailed it.
Your turn. And also,
David.
this is a funny face of my friend made.
All right.
Who's that? Then who was that?
Okay, so what let's just talk about. So the Dolly dance was a time when she was frustrated and couldn't get the words out. So sometimes a physical action might have helped her express what was going on for her.
Do you mind if I use that in the WWE?
Yeah. Also,
Go for it.
speaking of
I can do
funny
it. Go
faces,
for it. Yeah.
You will see me do that this
Yeah,
weekend.
also-
It's like the
His face.
ultimate form
At
of mockery.
WrestleMania.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
also there's this funny face too.
Well, remember some of the other things, Abby. Remember some of the other things you did when she was young and she didn't like you. She'd look at you from afar and do this. Just go.
Oh yeah.
That's
Like it was like the ultimate.
That's like
I love it.
Do it. Do
love
Show
it.
him.
Doop.
Yeah, you look at the person
just like-
directly.
And you flick 'em.
Right in their face, and you just kind of flick them.
Yep.
Now, Ben has a good one, though. What does she do when she's mad at you? What are some of your names?
That she calls me.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, there's a couple. One of them, I don't know where this came from. One
really
day
funny.
she was mad at me, and you started calling me Brent.
Brent. Just like some random
We
name.
don't
She's like,
we don't
okay.
know anyone named Brent.
He
My
was
name's
in-
not
he was
Brent.
in my class from second grade.
Okay.
So,
So someone
Do you
from
like
second grade.
Brent?
And you know
I
Miguel
have no idea
Garcia?
who Brent is.
yes,
Jorman knows Miguel Garcia.
that's right.
Bob and
Oh,
Mike's
yeah,
son.
yeah.
Bob and Mike's son knows some of them.
But we were
That's true.
talking about the nickname. She said Brent, and the other ultimate insight
is that?
is you get the title of doctor.
Oh yeah, that's a bad
So
one.
she'll say, "Okay, Doctor Mom." That's
That's a bad
Biggest
How
one.
do you
insult.
how do you
And
earn that?
sometimes
Now, Abby, why did you call me doctor?
because I don't like going to the doctors and
Doctors give you shots. Shots cause pain.
You were-
I'm mad at
and
you, so
speaking
you're
of,
now a doctor.
you were on.
So
you
you
were
get to
dressed
do-
up as a doctor on Rubbernecks.
That's a whole other thing. That's
You
nothing
dressed
to do
up
with
as
this.
one.
So did you pick up on and start to observe some of these and maybe you guys were able to
Steve
associate
Lawrence.
her these things that she did with what she was feeling at the time?
Yes, I call myself a translator. And when I do conferences, I do a lot of speaking to try to help parents. I love doing it. Feel like I spent the last 26 years learning this stuff in the front lines every single day. So, sometimes they talk about clinical data and what works and studies and all this. I'm like, I'm doing this every day and I'm telling you what's working. It's like I'm a translator. I could see the disconnect. I could see when she was frustrated, the language wouldn't come, a gesture would come. And then I'd try to model the language and say, I'm angry.
Do you
now.
Do you recognize how and realize how important of a skill that is and how applicable that is to neurotypical people? We all do that. We don't do dupe.
Yeah.
And we don't stick our tongue, maybe not, right? But a lot of times,
And when people did it back to me, they made me laugh.
okay, so that's good.
One of my aides did it.
But a lot of times we do things that are representative of an emotion that we're feeling, but not always exactly, not always an exact, way of showing that.
So
Yeah.
Hurt people sometimes do things that are just showing that they're hurt, not that they're angry or don't like you. And it's funny in our neurotypical relationships, we end up in a lot of those same type of scenarios where we're doing things that are poorly representative of how we truly feel. So that's such an incredible skill to have. And I wonder what ways you could teach, neurotypical people how to, how to use
in my
that.
social media channels, she's having a good
Yeah,
time.
the giggles.
Well, let's have a good time then. Sorry.
Having a good time.
Yeah.
But the one thing I
You
do
know who
want
I got this laughing thing from? A boy I went to high school with would laugh in
you
class.
can't say names of people.
Sorry.
Okay.
Except
You
Brent.
can say
Say
the
the
thing.
name.
Except Brent.
First name, but only.
My friend Abraham from high school would laugh during class for no reason, and I was there.
I do that sometimes too. I was a big problem in school. Big time.
Were you?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I was
Get in trouble a
Oh
lot?
yeah. I was an outlasher. I was in suspension. But it was funny because I was also in the gifted program. So they didn't really know what to do with me.
wow.
Yeah.
That's so
It
interesting.
was I was a high IQ, maybe low EQ or low, I had a lot of stuff going on at home. Anyways, Abby, can I ask you a direct
Yeah.
question? With all of these thoughts pulling at you to live in the past and to live in these memories,
I don't want to live in those memories.
how do you stay here with us? How
Talk
do you,
about in the moment.
All right.
But how do you do that?
How
What
do you
did we
do
learn
that?
this year?
5 senses.
Go.
I'm in a brain and memory therapy, and Ryan's teaching me how to turn my smart brain on and keep energy away from the emotional and survival brains.
By what?
You seeing what I like to see the sunset, and I like to hear the old dial-up modem sound. Remember the dial-up modem?
That's it.
Wow. That's a
Do you remember
throwback.
when computers used to do that?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
AOL, instant
You've
messenger.
got mail.
Yeah, exactly.
Alana Stewart has that.
So how do you stay here with us right now? Like, what are your tactics to stay in this room in this moment with us?
I focus on what I feel, what I smell, and what I taste. Those are all the senses.
So by turning the 5 senses on and identifying them, it helps bring the smart brain on, and the other brain of emotional and survival, which is out of this room, gets less energy so that the smart brain and the focus can turn on by using the 5 senses: sight, smell, touch, taste, and sound. The dial-up modem is a preferred sound. So tell us about that. Why do
Because
you
when
love
I
it?
was a little girl,
know.
when I first heard the dial-up modem, I was like 3 years old, maybe almost 3 years old. When I was 2.5, almost 3,
And it just stuck with you.
a little telephone pole came up on the computer, it had our planet next to it, and then the dial-up modem sound started playing.
And that's a preferred sound. So I think it's bringing her back to a happy time or a good feeling or a good vibe.
I think it's a good thing because I was barely on Earth when they had it. I was
Right.
really,
Do you-
I was a really little girl when I used to hear it on the computer.
Do you like that association, Christine, for this practice of staying in the moment, or is that something that gets in the way?
I think for her, whatever it takes for her to do her thing is great. The fact that we were able to identify that a preferred sound, so if Abby's like having a really hard time regulating, now what we say is, I said, think you need a sound input. She'll go listen to the dial-up modem sound for 5 minutes in a room, calm down, regulate, come back out, new person.
And that will help center her.
Yes.
Got it.
And I want every single parent, autistic person,
And
non-autistic person.
And I even heard it in the movie Lightyear with Buzz Lightyear.
Buzz Lightyear.
But if everybody knew their trigger,
I heard some of the dial-up modem sound in that.
Yeah. Feels good, right?
Yeah.
To hear that. Yeah.
In some sci-fi movies, I might hear a sound that sounds like the dial-up modem.
Is there any other sounds that you like that?
I also like a lot of sounds like this. Do you know this app called Freesound?
No.
It's where with all different sound effects, like music playing, animal noises. It's not just dial-up, other noises too, like phones ringing.
Got it.
The music on Candy Crush.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Candy Crush music.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you like playing Candy Crush?
I'm on a very high level, 9,566.
Wow. Wow, that's
Very
incredible.
high.
That's incredible.
Is Candy Crush a game you can make in-app purchases?
You have to crush the candy. You have to get rid of all the dragons, the jelly squares, or the licorice.
Do you spend money?
Every level is different.
okay, I have a story
Yeah, you
about
have a
that.
story about this.
Yeah.
David got me a
Unbeknownst-
Candy Crush gift card.
Let's go, David.
Yeah. One time she spent $700 on Candy Crush
Oh my
on the
goodness.
apps. I had to call the app store and say, I don't know what's going on here. Figure it out. She was just hitting the button that said, buy more, buy more, buy
I do
more.
the same thing on a website
I
called
wanna make-
Steak.
You know what? That's why I want to be a billionaire. But I don't make as much money as Chapel Roan does.
Oh, you'd be surprised. I don't.
Does
well,
she have more
she's-
money than me?
Well, if she's in a parasitic record label deal, there's a chance maybe you are wealthier and have a higher net worth than Chapel
She
Roan.
does. She's doing pretty big shows.
And do you see this bracelet?
Yeah.
I got this from Taylor Lautner and his wife.
Oh
Jay.
wow.
He gave it to you?
Yeah, I was on his podcast, The Squeeze with Lemons.
Whoa. Whoa.
Boy in the Adventures of Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
Yes, he was, and I was on his podcast.
Throwback.
I was on his podcast.
He's
That
pretty
movie
cool.
is turning a big 2-0, 20.
Yeah.
Big
this-
2-0.
Same goes for Sathara.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh,
so
wow.
so many throwbacks today.
You should have played Shark Boy and Lava Girl music at your 2000s themed party.
Should we,
It's
Christine? Should we bring
2005.
David
I
on?
think so.
Okay,
Why
because
doesn't
they're
David-
starting to talk. Hey, David.
Excellent.
How
Excellent.
are
Hello.
you, brother?
Good, and you?
Good.
What's up, David?
Good to meet you.
Good to meet you too.
Yeah.
David, it's such an honor for me to meet you. I'm a very big fan of you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I watched the show, and you and Abby, you guys are great.
Thanks.
Thanks for coming today.
You're welcome. Abby and I are still together.
Yes.
I know. Guys, it's amazing. From season 1?
Yes, from
We are.
All the way from the zoo, right? Was the first date at the zoo, right?
the first date's at the Wildlife Learning Center.
The Wildlife Learning Center.
And then you went to
Amazing.
the safari, and then guys, it's like you're an inspiration worldwide for what love and a happy couple should look like.
Yes, and if I win the lottery, I could create my own wildlife park, the biggest one.
And a water park.
The two of
Water
them.
park
together.
for me and a safari for him.
Oh,
Yes.
they should be next door to each other, so you could just go to the water park and then go to the wildlife center.
There's places like that. Six Flags has its own water park and wildlife, but you guys could do it better, I'm sure.
I think a lot of people would go there. That could be how you make more money than Chapel Roan.
Yeah. Does Chapel Roan have more money than me now?
Again, if she's in a parasitic record label deal, it's
Yeah,
totally
she
possible
could be
that your
getting
net worth
completely
is
screwed
indeed
over
higher.
by
What
her
about
label.
Sabrina Carpenter? Does she have more money?
She look me that me
She has a lot more money.
Was, yeah,
She's
hit.
working late.
Did she win any Grammy awards?
You know, I don't know.
I know Miley Cyrus won her first Grammy last year.
Well, that's Miley Cyrus.
Well deserved.
Who is there anyone in here who looks like Miley?
Probably your mom.
What about me?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
I
and
see
you
it a
of
little bit.
course.
Yeah, yeah.
Of course. You look just like her.
And the chin, I have the same chin as Demi Lovato.
Whoa.
Yes.
Demi
Yes.
Lovato.
So
She
you're
works
talking
out at
about
my-
the Disney Channel stars,
Yep.
And where does she appear as a little girl?
Barney and Friends.
Actually?
I watch that show every time I watch The Puzzle Place, and they deserve to go to Walt Disney World for the entire summer.
And who does Leon look like? What animal?
A lion.
Roar. Does he have a mane? His hair is practically a mane.
Yes.
Do you guys love talking to each other?
Yes.
All right, I have to say something. You guys, I was blown away when you guys played the Disney game. Okay, Abby, you say a location. This thing they do, I've seen it. You say a location, and then David, what do you respond? Abby,
Yeah. Cheesecake Factory.
Beauty and the Beast.
Roar and Snore.
The Lion King.
Dana Point Beach.
The Little Mermaid.
Irvine Spectrum Center.
Aladdin.
Will Rogers State Park.
Pocahontas.
Balboa Park.
The Princess and the Frog.
Supercuts.
Tangled.
Islands Restaurant.
Lilo and Stitch.
That's quite the back.
That was
What about having a
amazing.
picnic?
Stumped him.
Is it Winnie the Pooh?
Could be.
Well, is Winnie the Pooh on the list of your favorites?
May not be on the list of my favorites, but I like it.
You know, our friend Devin was obsessed with Winnie the Pooh.
Does this work for other stuff or is it just Disney? Like, can I ask you a state capital? Like, where does this end? Like, what do you?
All the Winnie the Pooh characters all got diagnosed with something.
You're correct.
Eeyore has depression. I saw it.
Yeah.
Tigger has ADHD, just like my brother.
Dude, Brent just gets.
Rabbit has OCD.
Oh, Brent
Rabbit wants to keep his garden a certain way.
Dang, David, I have a question for you.
Yes.
Do you like being famous?
Oh, yes.
Why?
Because it makes you feel special.
You are special.
Yeah. You are.
Do you like making money as much as Abby does?
Yes.
Can I ask how Love on the Spectrum came to be? Did they get cast for the show or?
So at that time, it hadn't aired yet, and it was during the pandemic. So in 2019, they were sort of looking for people, and we got a call one day of some guy doing some sort of dating show. We didn't really know what it was. He's from Australia, so we Zoomed with them. They met her in one of her classes.
Was it Kian?
It was Kian. So Kian was looking for people, and he's really good about really going everywhere.
Yep.
He goes to all the states and programs and went to hers. But at that time, it was completely unknown. And so they said this guy's going to come and watch their class. He's doing some kind of a dating documentary. And everyone was kind of talking to him at the end of the session. And Abby just like bolted out the door because of that time thing. Class is over, 3 o'clock, got to go, boom. They got our contact information. We wound up Zooming with them like 3 or 4 times. And then at the end of these Zoom calls, which took place over about a 6-month period, they're like, we're doing this little show and it's on a network called Netflix. And I was like, oh, I thought you were like a guy down by the river in a van that was just like shooting on your iPhone. I mean, I didn't know what it was. We had no idea what it was. And then it turned into what we saw. We watched the Australian version. And I don't know
Those
if you,
people had Australian accents, but they were on the spectrum.
I've never
Yeah.
been to Australia before.
Neither have I.
I would love to give it a try.
You have to go
Me
there.
too.
Yeah,
I wanna go.
My favorite thing to do is the zoo, and I want to hang out with the Irwin family
If
once
I
I'm
went,
there.
I want to talk to Cleo, Ricky, and Emma from H2O.
Same.
Wow.
I've got to see them.
You guys
too.
gotta go to Australia.
You know the Wiggles are from Australia.
I didn't know that.
oh, yes.
Whoa.
Every season of that is season 1.
Well, they have the same accent as Keon.
And I met the Wiggles, the whole cast, one time in
Really?
person. I was on an airplane, and they were sitting right behind me, and Abby was like 4.
Were they wearing their sweaters?
They weren't wearing their sweaters, but the whole cast was, and I was freaking out. I was doing this job, and I was on, the guy next to me had just had a child, but he wasn't old, the child wasn't old enough to know who the Wiggles were. And it was one of my like biggest groupie,
But
like
they're getting gray
starstruck
hairs
moments.
now.
Yeah.
Got their
Their
autographs.
hair's,
like, it was, like,
turning
crazy.
gray.
what about kangaroos?
They're getting old.
Would you like to meet a kangaroo?
Yes.
What else about Australia?
They also
Koalas.
Koalas.
platypuses.
See,
and
you have all your
wombats
reasons.
And Tasmanian devils, and
Just watch out for the spiders.
Oh, God.
always.
But it's much later there.
Yeah,
It
either
is.
18 hours in the future.
Yeah, it's actually tomorrow there.
Yep, it's tomorrow.
It is.
Abby, would you go skydiving ever?
No.
I'm with you, Abby.
Why?
Heights.
So we're staying
No.
we're staying on the ground.
Yeah.
But you don't have a problem going down the water slide.
Yeah.
It drops you.
Well, so-
Everybody's different.
yeah, some of the water slides are fun, but others makes me feel scared of heights.
Yep.
Why don't you like standing on the trapdoor?
Heights.
Oh.
Do you guys have favorite foods?
Speaking of which, hey Abby, I know you don't like flowers, but this is for you.
Thank you.
There's a lyric about that
I love to try one.
in your song. You
I'll try
said
one of each.
you said my Prince Charming doesn't bring me flowers. You know I'd rather have gummy bears any day.
Mm-hmm.
It's as real as it gets.
Yeah, it is.
David,
Abby,
we're-
you going to share?
Abby,
Thanks,
do you
sweet
know?
cakes.
Abby, do you know what your love language is? Do you know out of the love languages what your favorite part of being in love is?
He treats me like a princess or a woman with a relationship.
So would you say is it the gifts, acts of service, words of affirmation? Which thing do you like the most? Do you like when he says nice things to you or gives you gifts, or everybody's different?
Mm-hmm. I mean, what do you like the best? You like those gummy bears?
Yeah, you could also
Yeah.
just eat the gummy bears and not answer.
I like gummy bears too.
Yep.
David, you're so nice to Abby. Is it because you love her that much?
Yes.
Would you have any other nicknames for her besides Sweet Cakes?
I guess that's the only nickname I have for her.
Do you mind if I start calling my fiance Sweet Cakes?
Yes.
You do mind, or
Actually, I don't mind at all.
Okay.
do you mind if he starts calling me Sweet Cakes?
Very funny.
You are my Sweet Cakes, Mikey.
I love you.
Can I ask you about Connor from Love on the Spectrum?
We love Connor.
Me too.
Oh, we love Connor.
Do you know him?
Yes. And his wonderful mother, Lise. Hi,
She's
Lise.
amazing as well.
She's amazing. We hit it off in like 2 seconds. We met. They came to our house. We have like the Love on the Spectrum Ragers. We have had a bunch of parties at our house with as many cast members when they're in town. If it's like a Netflix thing or a promo thing, we've had these parties. And my favorite memory is James singing Bad to the Bone in my backyard.
Is there any way I can come to the next one?
Yes,
I'm
you're invited.
serious.
You're
I'm
It's
serious.
actually the most beautiful thing because, you know, everyone on most of the people that I know from the show and other people, they don't have the same ego as neurotypical people. Like there's a sense of I like this and I want that, but it is not ego based. It's actually beautiful, humble, and they don't really have a bigger judgment thing. You have feelings, and I sound like I'm generalizing, and I don't mean to, but I'm just kind of saying the group of people that I've been around, it's just, you're almost so free because you just don't have the same judgment.
You're saying neurotypical people are pieces of shit.
Well,
Is that
I didn't
we
say
hear you? No, it's completely fair assessment.
But it's actually a gift. I mean, I have this story about when I went to the special needs dance one Valentine's Day where I dropped her off and I had to wait because I was a parent. She's like in 8th or 9th grade. And it's Valentine's night and I'm at the special needs dance. There's a girl dancing and she's kind of doing all this stuff. And for 1 or 2 seconds, I judged that girl when no one else in that room did. And it was because they were all special needs people. And I was waiting for her, and I learned after that, like I was the only person judging her, and I thought how safe she was, being able to just be her true self. And I felt really shitty after that.
True sense of community.
And the cake and the pizza was so good. If I would love to go to another dance like that again at my special school. Like if I keep working out, going to the gym, I could eat a lot of pizza and cake. David, would you do it with me?
Yes,
Pizza
and
cake? It's
the
so
only
romantic
pizza,
for
the
both
only
of
kind of
us.
pizza I like is cheese.
And
I
I'll
like,
eat the vanilla cake and you can eat the chocolate.
yeah,
I'll
No
take-
toppings, David?
I'll take the vanilla, you
no
take the
toppings
chocolate.
on my pizza.
Where do you like to get your pizza from?
My favorite pizza place from there is Vito's.
Where's that?
Yum.
Where's it?
Santa Monica, Los Angeles, downtown LA.
Wow.
3 locations.
I love regular crust thick cheese pizza is my favorite.
From which location?
Vito's.
Vito's,
But
huh?
where is it at? Remember?
I don't remember.
David, it's the one on San Vicente?
San Vicente.
I may have to go there. Do you like Domino's?
Yes, I love Costco pizza.
Costco pizza.
I'm definitely. One time I had Costco pizza at my friend Devin's party, and then later by burning it off, I had to take my dog for a walk.
Yeah, I love that. Do you
Because
like?
I got my exercise, Clementine got her exercise, so I could give her an extra cup of food for her dog food.
It's a win-win.
2 birds, 1 stone.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I had to feed Clementine more dog food.
Do you like the Costco guys? Do you know who they are?
No.
5 big booms for the Costco guys. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
We're Costco guys. Of course,
Yeah.
we got the chicken bake.
Yeah. The chicken bake. Do you?
It's a double chunk
chocolate cookie.
Cookies.
Cookies like who?
Cookie Monster.
You do impression.
Cookies.
Nom, 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 nom. Just like
we
that.
need some of those type of things.
It's
where we
hurting
do
my
that
vocal
together.
cords.
Just say we do what they do.
You okay, Abby?
I'm not.
Yeah.
Cookies. Nom 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 nom.
I'm telling you, I'm gonna use this for my match.
Do it.
It's a snake.
I might start doing that more often too. Dude.
Your turn, Mary.
The flick.
Mary's doing the dolly dance.
The flick as
Your
well.
turn, Ben.
What do you say?
Yeah.
Doop. I got a
And
big.
this? I know this face.
Oh
Okay.
yeah. I got a big.
Marco.
Marco's Pizza?
Marco
No.
Di Pasquale.
Oh yeah. And Brent.
Ben used to hang out with him, and you know what Marco did? That grossed me out like a horror movie. Flipped his eyelids inside out.
Oh,
I could never do that ever.
So gross.
I've got a big business meeting today at 4. I think I'm going to try the dupe on,
Yeah.
on one of the guys there. See how that works. See how that
And
works out.
Cortland knew Marco.
That's right.
And you know what? She's in medical school. And
Yeah,
she
you
just got
mentioned that.
engaged.
good for her.
Yeah.
I saw.
Yeah, you mentioned
Yeah.
that. You did.
I saw Cortland twice.
You've met her, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
For the tea party. And I saw her again
Right.
during our double date at the LA
That's
Zoo,
right.
where Dad and I used to go for lunch.
I want to ask a question. I don't want to pry, but speaking of getting engaged, is that on the agenda for you two eventually?
Well, we are still together, but we're not ready for that yet.
Right.
Nice.
What did
Maybe
you guys
we
say?
will, maybe we will be when after Bob and Mike move out.
Yeah, but you said something. You said it recently. You said we already feel.
Like we're married in our hearts.
Oh yeah, that's
You
so
said that
sweet.
once.
Think
So that-
about it. Not everyone gets married. Ben and Bruna are married. Well, are they too young?
They're too young
They
to
can do
get
whatever
married.
they want.
You and Bruna haven't gotten married yet.
Look, it's a societal construct. At the end of the day, you know, but I just, man, there's so many people that love you guys, and they asked the question on the show, and I was just curious too. I got engaged. It's pretty great so far. So from my experience, I think you guys would do great.
You guys have a date set?
We do, yeah,
Oh, cool.
yeah, we do.
So you're doing it. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In Italy, it should be
Oh,
pretty
man,
nice.
Beautiful.
I
Great.
have another question. Do you guys watch content? Like, do you have people you like to watch online or
Oh.
certain?
You watch any
Abby,
YouTubers or anything?
You know who's your favorite guy that you watch all the time?
Jesus!
What's his whole?
Jesus Niglas, and this is what he says. Listen up, everybody. In the next few minutes, we're going to be having a fire drill. I need everyone to be on their best behavior. That means no talking for a second. And then when the bell rings, he says, excuse me, what did I just say?
He is funny.
I gotta check him out.
Yeah,
He's really
yeah,
good.
yeah.
And we even saw him at the Mufasa premiere down in the audience.
You did.
I
That's
did see
insane.
that movie 10 times in the theater.
And how many
Wow.
times have you seen it on Disney Plus?
11.
11 times on Disney Plus?
Actually, my first time on Disney Plus, but 10 times in the theater.
The count.
nuts.
What would the Yip Yip Martians say if they saw if they were in? If I was floating in space.
Oh, hi, Abby. Yippee, yip, uh-huh.
Why do they live in space?
Because that's because they're aliens.
Yeah, that checks out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
they go
Yip
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 yip yip yip yip.
Yeah.
The Yip Yip Martians are the count of the only Sesame Street Muppets that wants to go to Disneyland because of the rides lets them think of their homes.
Who would go on Tomorrowland Space Mountain?
Yip Yip Martians.
New Orleans Square Haunted Mansion.
Count Von Count.
We gotta have a thing, Mike.
I think we should take acid together.
Trash can and garbage.
I think that's really. I think
garbage in the trash
That's
can.
what we
Oscar
would-
the Grouch.
What would he
that'd be a
say?
good
Be it,
start.
scram, get away from my trash can. That's what
Rita,
he say.
scram, get lost, get away from my trash can.
Yeah, that's what he would say if anyone is near his trash can.
I'm so jealous of this situation.
Big
I
bird.
am, dude. I will
He's like
never
the tallest
get
yellow
to this.
canary who is part ostrich.
Like they're operating on the same wavelength.
Yeah, they're in
right
love.
now.
They're
Who
in
would
love.
save people from being in danger?
Grover, who becomes Super Grover.
Grover.
It's amazing.
I still learn. I still watch. I still learn. We were at lunch one time when they started doing that location Disney thing, and I truly did not understand. I knew they did, but I couldn't quite figure it out, like a location and then a Disney movie. And I said, "You guys, do you mind if I?" And I just did a little TikTok
Does it go
on
anywhere else though? Like, like, is there any other associations that they work with? Like, if I say, spaghetti and meatballs.
I prefer spaghetti with butter on it only.
Okay. If I say, let's everybody get in the rocket ship.
I rather stay on the earth.
Okay. If I say that color is red.
I say it's what the color of the number 2 is.
Okay. See, this is.
Synesthesia.
Yes, my synesthesia is by seeing numbers as colors.
I think keep going. I think you guys might have a.
I think I'll sleep on the couch tonight.
If all the beds are taken.
Yep. Well, I've been growing plants for so long, I got a green thumb.
Then maybe you should take a break before that happens.
This is amazing.
Mom, the chicken's done.
then she'll come down and check and see if you're right.
Stock market's going up again.
You buy money?
Buy money.
Yep.
Let's go.
Correct. Man, just found out that Abby has more money than Chapel Roan.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Abby.
We're building the water park.
Yeah.
I think.
And if I get more money too, I could build my own wildlife park too. And it'll come with the aquarium, which will be the world's biggest zoo ever. And I wonder if the one or two of the tanks might come with, two of the tanks might have the gate that leads to the ocean.
Have you been to Atlanta? Because there's a really nice aquarium there.
I've never been to Atlanta before,
Something
but
to think about.
I would love to do that.
You know who lives there?
Who?
Connor from Love on the Spectrum.
Right.
Yeah, then I'll visit him by the time I go to that aquarium.
It has a whale shark and,
Wow.
and a tunnel that you can walk in and you're surrounded by the fish. It's incredible.
Yeah,
You
the
should consider it and hang out with Connor.
The whale shark, that's the world's biggest shark on Earth.
Gosh darn right. You're gosh darn
And
right.
they're very friendly.
Yeah, and friendly too.
Sharks are friendly?
Not in Australia, by the way. If you go, watch out for
Oh.
the sharks.
Yeah.
The great white ones, I think they're also located in around Africa.
It's entirely possible.
That's where I went for a Christmas vacation of 2015 and the Halloween one for 2022.
Whoa. Mike, I feel like one day maybe you and I could have what they have.
The question is how.
I think I have the answer. I actually wrote you a little something. And it was inspired by Abby's song to David. Kind of like similar melody, like maybe
What's inside?
What he's talking.
no, I just maybe
Is there a reason I feel impending doom and fear right now? Like severe.
well, I thought your song to David was amazing and the melody was amazing. So I wrote some lyrics about my friend Mike, and I wouldn't mind doing a little performance here if everyone's okay with it.
Abby, isn't that cool?
Yes.
He's made up his own version to sing to Mike.
Yeah.
We got to.
Oh yeah.
It's I don't know if it'll be as good as yours, Abby, but it's just the
These are so addicting. But
I like to sing you this song, Mike. Just, I love
Well,
you.
then get to it,
All
dude.
right, all right.
This ought to be good.
I was kind of nervous to meet someone old, and I was really glad when you got off of parole. Mike, I'm so proud you've come so far. I know you can't get away from porn stars. I know sometimes I'm rude to you, but nothing we can't fix with a little blue chew. We're so good together. Will you be my co-host forever? Will you be my co-host forever? What do you say, Mike? You want to do this show forever with me?
Yes. Yes, I'll do it. I'll do it. That was wonderful. The Lion King.
I didn't have the guitarist.
Balboa Park.
It kind of just threw it together.
No, I'm testing you now to see if we have what they have.
All right.
I
You
want
said
to
it was
go
gonna
back
do
to
it.
Kenya again.
Me too, Abby. It was a lot of fun, and I love to go on more safari. It's
Okay, let's
always
try-
my favorite thing
I'll
to
try
do.
it with you,
You
now.
should. You
I want to
should.
go back to Iceland again.
Iceland.
What kind of animals live in Iceland?
Yeah. No, we got a huge fight in Iceland. We ain't going back there.
Well, you're not complimenting me the same way that David compliments.
I'll be
him.
honest with you, we don't have chemistry, bro. That song, I don't know what to tell you.
I've got to take one of each Lunchable to Oceanside the Beach House. Hey!
Whoa.
It's Lunchly. It's Lunchly. It's my brand with Mr. Beast
Abby, look at
and
it. Look
KSI.
at the,
It's
look
called
at it.
it's called Lunchly.
Whoa.
I could see the confusion, but we're a much better product, in my opinion.
11 grams of protein.
You're gosh dang right. Please, they're yours. Lunchly.
Thank you.
Maybe your
And
next-
the pizza one too.
The
Maybe
pizza
your
one's
next
delicious.
lucrative-
Thank you.
Maybe your next lucrative sponsorship.
Yeah.
That's with Mr. Beast, right?
Yeah, it's with Mr.
We did a
Beast.
cool thing with some wells in Africa, building
Uganda.
wells, and he was also a sponsor on that.
No way.
There's a well in Uganda named after Abby.
That's
and
amazing.
I saw
Yeah.
in Kenya, I saw people carry these big yellow jugs walking 10 miles to get water.
Very a lot of that's a far distance with water. Water's heavy. Water's really heavy. So is Bradley Martin. He's 260.
And he's coming on the show.
That's confirmed?
Confirmed, yeah. You guys are going to talk about your soiree.
No,
a little
come on.
bit. Yeah.
We'll keep it professional. Season 4, Love on the Spectrum. Is this something we can look forward to?
I know they're going to do it. And, they scour the United States looking for new people and all that kind of stuff. So, we never know until kind of like what's going on. I mean, it's kind of where are you guys? What's going on? It was a little bit different at the beginning than it is now because, everyone's kind of in different parts of their own story. Some have relationships, some don't, some are still seeking, but it's just been an amazing thing to be part of, you know.
Kian, you can tell. So
Yeah.
I'm a creator. Like I've been doing this stuff forever. So when I watch shows, I watch them a little differently. I'm watching like the scope. I wonder what it looks like behind the scenes, the writing, the casting, everything. And you can tell he cares.
He does.
He cares. I'm not sure how many people could like successfully make the show without like really being able to care and have the conversations
And
to
you can
build
hear
that
him
narrative.
say, there's a date on season 3 with Madison and a young man. I think his name is Brandon, and he has some auditory issues.
Yep, I remember.
And his head's on the table, and I've seen that a million times. And I was so grateful that they showed that on the show because that's a struggle for some people on the spectrum. And I told Kian, I said, I love that you kept that in, and that's kind of like the autism that we see. And she was so kind and she sort of understood that. But then Keon says, Brendan, are you okay? Do you need to take a break? Right in the middle of it. He's really focused on what they need.
Yep.
And I think that's pretty great.
It was if I'm just being candid here, I was like a little nervous in season 1 how this would be done in a way where it didn't feel like normal reality shows do, where the cast is kind of just being exploited. And he just did it so tastefully.
I mean, he did. And, here's the thing. It's not scripted in any way. He scours the United States to find the right people for both the storylines and the dates. Anyone can call them up that's on the spectrum and kind of figure out, how to be, if they think they're right for it, that kind of thing. And our first meeting, the very first time they came to the house, once they said, yeah, we'd like you to do this, they came into Abby's room and they had everything set up with hot lights. It's a small room, her bedroom. And it is just not the right environment for her to focus. And it was not good. She told him right to his face within 5 minutes, I don't like this. I'm bored. Can I leave now? This is a hot room. I need a break. And it was not good. And I was like, why did we agree to do this? I'd made a mistake in encouraging her to try. The language Q&A thing is too hard. And then he called up and he said, we want to come back. But this time we're going to let her walk around and do what she wants to do. We're just going to really follow her. So he let go of that structure of interview and followed her. And it was like a different person because for so many, it's hard to sit still and focus.
It's hard to do that just regularly. Like having these cameras and lights in your face is not a normal
And
thing.
obviously she crushed it today. And obviously, we'll take that as an ode to our incredible
For sure.
phenomenal interviewing skills.
Yes,
but
yes.
Excellent. You did an excellent job today, both of you guys.
Thank you so
An
much.
excellent job today.
Yes.
You don't have to run off. I know you want to.
I love both of you. I was so excited to meet you guys, and I'm very grateful you did our show. Thank you for coming on, and I'm rooting for the relationship in both of you. And Christine, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for letting me be part of it too.
Yeah,
You
of
guys are
course.
the best.
And Ben.
Of course, and Ben, of course.
Brother Ben, he's been
Brother
through
Ben,
it.
you've been through a lot, brother. Keep going. Dude.
Abby, for those who are interested, where can we find your hats if one wanted to buy them?
Hatsbyabby.com.
Wow.
That is so, it's just
Makes
intuitive.
sense.
I get it.
What, Mary?
Made by Abby.
Madebyabby.com. I mean,
That's even better.
madebyabby.com.
That's even better.
Sorry, just not hats made by Abby.com. Madebyabby.com.
Heck
And David,
yeah.
anything you'd like to sell on our program today?
Oh, he had
Next
some-
time,
You
we'll
can
do it
follow
next time.
David on his David_Love on the Spectrum. That's your handle on TikTok. And I do a lot of parenting stuff on TikTok, Christine Abby's Mom 17, and on Instagram, Christine Abby's Mom. And I try to do more educational stuff. And then she's a rock star on Abby's YouTube. Hats by Abby, Abby Romeo. She's got her new video for Boyfriend Forever song that was directed by me and shot by her brother Ben, who did an
It's all in the
awesome
family.
job. Like we're like the Von Trapps, you know.
Yeah.
the-
Yeah, this is
trying to
amazing.
piece it together.
It's amazing.
Yeah, and that's on her YouTube, Boyfriend Forever.
Well, thank you guys so much for coming on. Yeah, that's it, guys. Thanks for watching this episode of
Thank
Impulsive.
you.
Hit that subscribe button. We'll see you next time.
Peace.